welcome back to another monthly plan with me. I'm very excited for the plan with me this month because I got a few other little things that I'm including in this plan with me. So if you like this kind of new style of a plan with me by the time that you get to the end of this video, do let me know so I know whether to continue kind of doing new little things in my plan with me. So for today's plan with me, I'm going to take you behind the scenes, of course, of filling out my digital planner. But I have a free plan with me guide that you can download and actually plan along with me. But now I've made it even easier by giving you the color palettes that I'm using this month, a sample of the stickers that I'm using. And if you really like those sticker samples, I have the full set available for you. And then the wallpapers. So I've been back into creating monthly wallpapers. I don't necessarily change my wallpaper month to month, but I am experimenting a little bit with that. I had really fun creating the wallpapers this month, so I will have all of that linked below in the free plan with me guide. I'm going to be taking you through my digital planner, of course, but I also wanted to take you through my entire planning routine. So digital planning for me is just a part of it. I really like to write things down, decorate, write out my to-do list, write out my goals, but then I also like to bring that over to my computer as well. You know, I like to use them kind of a bit more in combination the more and more I grow, just because there's so much like little content to plan. So like if I like sat down and wrote out a draft for each video like physically in my digital planner, it would just take so much. So I do have other digital systems that I like to use, and I'm actually going to be taking you through those today as well. And that is going to be with Notion. I love using Notion, and so I'll kind of take you behind the scenes there too, but I always like to start with my digital planner. So we're gonna hop into my digital planner and get started. All right, so I am over here at my desk to start working in my digital planner this month. I am using the M2 iPad Air. This is the new 13-inch size. I absolutely love it. I love having the bigger size. I'm gonna add a little candle to my setup. I'm loving this one lately, and of course with it being spring, I felt like we needed to bring in some flowers, so I'm just gonna add that to my desk setup here, and of course my lovely soda. So here's a look back at February. If you want to see that setup, you know, feel free to go watch my last plan with me. I'm just going back into February so I can fill out this monthly reflection. So I normally like to just kind of start with wherever on the page that calls to me. So I'm starting with this category here to kind of just rate myself in different areas of my life right now. And then to remember kind of like why I gave it that rating, I'm just writing some notes here off to the side. You can adapt this review page in the Siberia Digital Planner however you want. I'm just kind of hopping around and going with, you know, whatever calls to me as I'm kind of reflecting on the past month. I felt like February flew by. I felt like I was always busy and go, go, go. And I don't know, I just, you know, want to make time to make sure that I'm actually reflecting on each month, because that is something that I forget to do often, is just to go back and write down things that are going on or what worried me, or, you know, personal highlights of the month. And so that's kind of what the purpose of this reflection page is for. I also want to make note of, you know, anything I accomplished this month, even if it was something small like, you know, posting every day for a week, or, you know, maintaining my office, because it gets so messy when I get stressed or if I'm working on a bunch of things, or just, you know, random little things that I feel accomplished in doing. It doesn't necessarily need to be something huge, you know. But with that done, I'm now going back to the February monthly page. If you've seen my past plan with me, so you know I kind of reuse a lot of the like stickers that I've kind of set up. So I'm actually going to create an elements collection with my most used monthly planning elements. I've already created these finance stickers that say like mortgage due or credit card payment due. And I say stickers, but these are actually just using the text tool and the highlight option. So I'm just saving those to an elements collection so I can reuse them. But back on my March plan with me page, I'm actually going to block off the dates that correspond to February. So that's just what I'm doing here. If you hit the undo button, it actually gets rid of that border. You want to make sure fill color is selected. And I'm not too concerned with the color right now, because I am going to go in and add in those elements that I added to the elements collection that have things like the YouTube video label and the credit card payment label and all of that. And yeah, I'm just going in, adding that to the right dates here on the monthly calendar. And I'm going to go in and recolor those later based off kind of the theme I'm going with this month. And I'm really excited for the theme this month. I am going to go through my stickers folder. I have a stickers folder in GoodNotes with just all of the pre-cropped sticker sheets because I still find that I prefer using pre-cropped sticker sheets. So I'm going to use the major holidays sticker label. That way I can add in St. Patrick's Day or Mardi Gras, things like that onto my calendar. So that's just what I'm doing here. I love using these labels. I think they go well with any planner, not just the Cyberry planner. So I love using them, especially in the neutral colorway. So I did set up a third monthly calendar in March ahead of time, actually at the beginning of the year, with things that I wanted to start working on and future launches. So of course I want to make sure I start working on spring stickers before spring and things like that. And I actually have that in the third calendar of each month. And I just want to add it to my first main calendar. And I'm using the first calendar in my Cyberry digital planner to show the dates of everything. I'm kind of using it as a combined calendar. The Cyberry planner has 3 monthlies, and so my second one I'm going to use for my memories and kind of journaling, and the third is kind of just business and product related. But I do like to have everything on this first calendar, so I'm going in, adding in dates and appointments and other things that are already on my digital calendar, and going in and adding a highlight for those. Again, we're going to color code those kind of based off my theme. And so this is those colors. That's the March color palette. I have 2 color palettes. One's kind of a more saturated version of kind of the more pastel colors. And what's great about this color palette is it actually matches the March stickers for this month. So I'm really excited. So if you haven't added colors to GoodNotes yet, it's kind of a tedious process if you're adding a bunch. You're just going to use the color dropper tool and go in and pick up those colors from these images. But I did also include the hex codes if you prefer, copying and pasting the hex code values in as well. Another thing I did was I actually cleared out all of my past colors just so I have those main colors that I added this month and then the ones I like to use most, like, black and gray and all that. So now I'm going in and adding in my little decorations and my decorative stickers, the March theme stickers for this month that I'm really excited about because it's kind of like little Lucky Charms almost. So I'm kind of going in and adding those, adding a little bit of decoration, making, St. Patrick's Day stand out a little bit more. And of course, daylight savings because, that happens this month, which I'm sure is going to go over well with having a toddler. But so with my, kind of decoration this month, I kind of like to take kind of like a scattered, decor approach with this cereal. I kind of just want it scattered a little bit everywhere in my spread. So I'm just kind of, playing around with placement and seeing where I like things, testing it out, rotating it, moving it around, kind of to see where I like it on my spread. Now I'm going to pick up colors from those stickers for my highlight. So the thing with GoodNotes, unfortunately, is that you have to add colors to both the pen and the highlight color palette. For some reason, the color palettes are separate for those, which is really annoying, and I totally forgot about that when I was first adding in that color palette. So I am going in, lassoing everything, and then just using the lasso tool to pick up the colors from my stickers, since those are the same colors anyway in the color palette. But that is something to keep in mind, that if you want those color palettes for both the highlights and your pen, to make sure that you add them for both. And I think text also has its own color palette system in GoodNotes. It's just really confusing to me, but it is what it is. Going in, adding a few more stickers and kind of decoration for this month, of course. I decided I was also going to block out St. Patrick's Day just to call a little bit more attention to it. Just little decor in my planner now. And I really like how everything is already starting to come together, especially with kind of recoloring everything. I'm going back to February so I can add my hand lettering to the elements collection that I used. That way I can add it on the second monthly calendar of my March, essentially. And then I'm going back in, with those cereal stickers and kind of adding to this spread as well. I really like my hand lettering here, so I'm just reusing it for this month. I'm also going to copy and paste over kind of those shadings that kind of indicate the previous and next month, just because I like the way that looks as well. And then I decided I wanted to add in my ongoing projects widget sticker just to have that kind of floating on the monthly page. I really like doing this in my planners. That way I can see what I'm working on every month and kind of have that ready to go in my digital planner. It's just nice to have that there. I recommend trying it if you haven't yet. So that's a look at my monthly spread. We're gonna hop into my kind of quick menu pages for the month. So I'm gonna set up my kind of goals and habit tracking page. I'm just going to copy over from February since that's already set up how I want it for March as well. Of course, I'm gonna go in and add in some of those decorative stickers as well to kind of have everything be on theme. And then I'm going to recolor my kind of highlight bubbles for these for my habits. That way everything just matches, you know? Then I'm gonna go in and update some of my goals for this month. You know, some of them have stayed the same for this month, but I'm also going in and kind of rewriting some things that I wanna do and things that I want to accomplish for this month. And so that is my setup for March. Let's hop into my Notion. This is what my Notion currently looks like. It's a little bit of a mess. I do need to do a little bit of updating because I'm not in love with the main dashboard right now, but this is kind of what it's looking like. And I will say that I have so many different Notion templates that I've created over the years, some that I've given away and updated and just all kinds of things. So I'll be sure to link all of that below for you if you want to check any of these out. There might be some templates that I show that I haven't necessarily released to the public, but if you're interested in those, do let me know. But what I like to do here is I actually have a mix of like personal and business within my Notion. And so one of the things I like to do personally every month is finances. It's kind of like a financial review at the very end of the month. And so just to protect like personal info, instead of going into, let's say like one of these months here, I'm just gonna go into the template just so you can see. So this is the template that I created. I tend to put my monthly goals as far as finances go along the side. Any worries that I have for the month, you know, like maybe there's a big expense coming up or, you know, I got behind on something. I like to put those worries to the side in this template. And I also like to add any upcoming expenses that aren't necessarily already budgeted for. I do like to put kind of like the start and end amounts if I have any ongoing debts, as well as my savings, just so I can see month to month how things are growing. I do like to I have this table here that I like to have for recurring expenses. So I will have a section for, you know, transactions. For my categories, I have home, credit card payments, auto, investments, phone, internet, utilities, entertainment, savings, retail, and help, and then what account that goes to. I do like to have a planned and actual column, mostly for things like bills, you know, like water bill or electricity. You know, I'm planning for it to be, you know, $200 this month, but it's actually $220 or $300 or something like that. I like to have that just so I can kind of budget and plan accordingly. I have basically the same table, but for personal income and then personal expenses. I used to enter business income and expenses in this, but then it got way too overwhelming. And a lot of what I'm trying to improve is kind of the personal side of my finances, but also I have an accountant that works through my business finances for me, and she kind of creates essentially her own little template, very similar to this, that I can go over with her and look through those at the end of each month as well. But it's nice to have that for my personal finances as well. So what I like to do is I like to sit down with my statements, go through, write out my transactions, kind of see where I'm putting my money towards, and then how I can reduce that or what my money will be going to in the next month if there needs to be any payments made. The next big things I like to do in my Notion dashboard is related to KDigitalStudio, and that is content planning and product launches and product designs and basically anything of value that I can provide to the community. So one of the things that is really big in my Notion is this content map. And so I'm in this daily, but when it comes to, you know, the end of the month, I like to essentially review my YouTube calendar. I tend to view, you know, certain certain platforms like YouTube or Instagram is kind of like my main platform, and then kind of building and branching off of that. Especially if I create a product as well, that product tends to be the main content, and then I like to build kind of accessory content around that. So for example, I'm filming this March plan with me here, and this is where I like to go in and, you know, write out my ideas, my thoughts, kind of expand on that, things that I want to make sure I include when I actually go to publish it, a script if there is like more scripts or notes that I need to keep track of, and then specific shots that I want to do. And that's just kind of how I set up this template. But these are things that I like to go in and kind of flesh out in detail in the month. Now down for Instagram, this is another like platform that I really love using, and so I like to put my ideas. I normally plan these out kind of by the week, but I do come in here and also write out any ideas that I have, flesh out those ideas, and then I will schedule them on that week. And then what I like over here is that if I upload like a media item to, you know, something within my Notion database, I can actually click this to refresh kind of this little Instagram preview widget on the side, just so I can see what my feed looks like. And I'm in the need of needing to update some of the pictures for that feed to make it look a little bit better. And then one other thing I like to do here on my computer for planning the month is coming to my roadmap and my strategy for KDigitalStudio. I want to be thinking long-term. A lot of long-term and ongoing projects live in this Notion dashboard, and so I have it broken down by quarter. And what I like to do is break it down by products that I'm planning to launch or that I'm working on, and then structure that around some main content that I can release, and then I have secondary or accessory content that I can build off of that. So when it comes to March, one of the main things that I created this month were wallpapers. So I used that as kind of my main content. And then for secondary content, that's linking out to Pinterest and reposting things like that, reformatting and republishing it for things like Instagram, creating a reel based off the wallpapers I created. And so that's just one thing that I like to do when it comes to kind of creating content and making it accessory. So that way people can find me on essentially any platform if they're looking for digital planning or creative tech content. So that is what I like to go in and do here in my Notion dashboard. So for example, my March theme stickers, I've created those, and then I would create like a YouTube video based off that, March plan with me, with those themed stickers. And then from that YouTube video, I would share, so link out to video, link out to stickers, link out to free plan with me guide. So this is my database, and I just need to change my filter properties here to show March, and then done is unchecked. And then I have it saved for March. And so that way, when I click into a specific, you know, content idea, product, or breakdown, I see these supporting tasks, and then they're all kind of, let me go back here. Then they're all coordinated right here. So this is what I like to do month to month, is go in, look at what I think I'll be able to accomplish this month, products that I might be able to release, content that I can create around those, and then any additional content that's not necessarily product related, you know, tips or tricks or things like the plan with me, or just tutorials or things that I have, you know, slotted that I think would do really well for that month. So that is a look inside my Notion. That's what I like to do month to month, and that's just something that I've found myself doing after, you know, planning out in my digital planner. So that is just kind of another piece of the planning puzzle. But that is how I like to plan out the month, just making time in my digital planner. That's my favorite place to be, and kind of reviewing the past month, setting up a new month, writing out my goals and my tasks, kind of the main big picture things, and then really fleshing it out even further in Notion, both personally and professionally. Don't forget to download the free guide that is included with this month's Plan With Me. That way you can get the free color palettes, a free sample of the stickers that I used in this video, and then free wallpapers if you wanted to kind of decorate your iPad or your tablet, your phone, your computer, have it all matchy-matchy. We'll go for different vibes for each. Have all of that in the free guide, but of course you can access additional freebies from my website, KDigitalStudio.com. I'm so excited to see what you create. So if you end up using, the free color palettes or some of the stickers or set up your new wallpapers, be sure to tag me on socials because I would love to see and reshare your setups. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next month with the next Plan With Me, but also next week for a new video all about creative tech and iPad planning.